So today I'm going to teach you guys how to attach a GoPro to the bottom of your skateboard and get some cool shots of you riding around. So the different things that you're going to need to do this shot are obviously a skateboard, obviously a GoPro, and some of this stuff which is called gaffer's tape. Gaffer's tape is a special kind of tape that is used because it does not leave any sticky residue. You can put it on and take it off and there's no residue left over. So you know when you put duct tape on something and then you take it off and there's like all this sticky just gunk on there? Gaffer's tape doesn't do that, so make sure you get gaffer's tape because you don't want a bunch of sticky gunk on your nice GoPro. How a lot of people do this shot is they just take the GoPro camera out of the housing and just tape it onto the board directly. But I'm a little bit sketched out about taking my camera out of the case and putting it on there. So I bought another case just for this purpose and I cut the bottom pieces off. With the bottom pieces off, it's just able to fit on the skateboard going this way. As you can see, it just barely fits in there. If these pieces were here right there, it kind of hooks over and it's just too high. So with these pieces cut off, that's a lot better because then I can stick it on there. Like I said, I could take the GoPro out of this case and stick it on the board directly, and the point of having the gaffer's tape, which doesn't leave the residue behind, is so you can do that. But the only problem is that your GoPro camera costs quite a bit of money and a case is not that bad. A case is only going to run you 50 bucks. So if you just get an extra case and cut the bottom off, I think it's well worth the investment. Especially if you're skating around the street, you could hit a rock and lots of things can go wrong. So yeah, just make sure you're protected. Cool, so now I'm going to show you how to stick this little camera onto this board right here and get some awesome shots. So before you get it on there, make sure that your phone is connected to the camera and that you have all your settings working so that once the camera is taped to the bottom of the board, you can adjust it, start recording, stop recording, and do those different things, which is all done through the GoPro app for the iPhone or Android, whatever you got. So let's hook this baby up and see what we got here. Great, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover this camera onto the skateboard with a bunch of gaffer's tape. I hope it works out. Probably is the worst tape job, but I don't know, I hope it holds. Let's check it out. So I'm going to give this a shot, see how it does. Okay, great. So after a few different trial and error attempts of taping the GoPro to the board, I think I've got it down to a fine art, or at least to the point where the tape's not going to be flapping everywhere and it's going to be sticking on there better. So I'm going to show you guys how I figured out how to tape it a little better, so I hope this helps you too. What I've come to realize on this process is that the more tape, the better. So I'm going to show you how I figured out how to tape this. basically I'm going to start off right here. Come around the board. And tape it so your tape is coming up to the side like this. And then you're going to stick your camera down right where you want it to go. And you're just going to overlap it with the tape. I actually want it back next to that truck a little more. Good, so your first lap, you want it to be kind of like that. You want the tape sticking down all the way to the board. And then from there, we're just going to overlap it as many times as we can. Make sure you don't have any tape covering any part of the lens, because you definitely don't want tape in your shot. And once you have it wrapped around a couple times, now you're just going to start throwing it over there really tight as you can. And you want to make a few laps of this, because you want it to really hold that camera down. One of the things that I found is that the camera will bump up, or down rather, because it's facing down. So you want to make sure it's really, really tight on there. Once you have it wrapped around a few times, it looks kind of like that. Now you're in the money. So now the camera's really on there, and it definitely isn't going anywhere.